The STL Hockey Fan Podcast is presented by Interstate 70 Sports Media Group. I-70 strives to give you the best sports coverage in the tri-state area. Find them on Facebook or at interstate70sports.media. Dogtown Pizza. If you haven't had a Dogtown Pizza, you are absolutely missing out. There is nothing better than coming home from work or school or wherever you're stuck at for the day, throwing a Dogtown Pizza into the oven for pretty much no time at all, and enjoying that St. Louis-style greatness. With selections like a classic pepperoni, the 4-meat, the deluxe, and the veggie, there's a perfect pizza for everyone. The best part is knowing you're supporting a local St. Louis business and family. Dogtown Pizza has partnered with our beloved Blues, but also with other prominent St. Louis figures like Steve's Hot Dogs. And it's run by the Shaper family, St. Louisans through and through with a decade in the business. My family and I had 2 of these bad boys today in preparation for this, and they turned out incredible. Just look at that cheese. Bottom line, if you're looking for a pizza you'll love, from a local company you can trust, run by a family you can relate to, go to dogtownpizza.com, find a store near you, and go get one. Thanks again to Dogtown Pizza for sponsoring this podcast. Let's go get a pizza, and let's go Blues. Welcome to the STL Hockey Fan Podcast. I am your host, Corey. This is your beautiful co-host, Jesse.
Hello.
And we have a ton to talk about, and we will simply start with the trade deadline. So with this, we have lost 2 players. We lost Braden Shen. He went to the Islanders. In exchange, we got a first and 3rd round pick in the upcoming draft, as well as Jonathan Drouin. And help me out, who else did we get in this?
So with Shen, we got the, how do you say it, Drouin?
Yeah.
And then Marcus Giedloff. And the 3rd round pick. Yeah.
So now he is, I'm fairly certain he's a goalie, yeah?
Yeah.
Goalie prospect from Sweden, I believe.
Okay. Now, I did heard, are both the 1st round picks conditional, or is it just the Justin Falk trade that the 1st round pick is conditional from Detroit?
I didn't hear that any of them were. So yeah, okay. If you've got better information than me, then definitely. But what I do know is that the 1st round pick in the Shen trade is Colorado's pick. So it's basically going to be not a top pick at
all.
Because, I mean, obviously they're already soaring past everybody in the league. Even when they're losing, they're still, like, games ahead of everybody. So we are not going to see that as an early pick.
No.
So, I mean, that's a pretty good haul. You know, you get 2 picks, you get 2 players. One of them is with Drouin. He is a former 3rd overall pick, I believe in 2013.
Yep.
And, you know, he's literally played in the next game that they had scheduled and scored.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you ask me, that's a good trade right there. You got 4 potential players, and one of them's already making, an impact for you.
Right. No, and the team looked really good on Sunday night's game against Anaheim, too. So
yes, they did.
They played a full 60 minutes, I feel, and Hofer was a brick wall and amazing saves. And to see this new energy put into the team, it's good and bad, right? Because those that want the tank, they're audibly upset about it. And those that just want the Blues to win and do well are happy about it as well. So,
yeah, and it's crazy because, like, I understand that being torn. You know, you want that top pick. I get it. But the whole goal is that you want the team to win. And if I will always take them doing it now rather than later, if that makes sense. Like, I understand we're building for the future and all of that, but, like, the whole point of watching is to watch them win. So, if you're watching now and you're, like, rooting for them to lose, it's a little messed up. So that's the Shen trade. Yes. So we go to the Falk trade, and again, another 1st and 3rd, one possibly conditional. And then we get forward prospect Dmitry Buchelnikov, and I practiced that because it's a rough one. And then we get super easy name, Justin Hall.
Yeah.
Who, again, is, an NHL ready player. He's played almost 400 in the league. And he comes in and he was making plays, he was contributing, but man, he got rocked.
Yeah, he did.
Who was that by? Was it Johnson, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got rocked, and in response, Tyler Tucker, who has a straight shot to the puck, nobody really coming after him, completely disregards the puck, drops mitts, drops the stick, and just for one, he starts the fight. Good on you. He got rocked too.
He definitely did. That was a big boy he was messing with.
Yes,
sure.
It was. And dude, it was that uppercut. Mm-hmm. You saw Tucker was looking down, and that got him right on the button.
Oh yeah.
So, but I mean, that is something that we're wanting to see here. This is a brand new player with Justin Hall. You don't have any ties to this guy, but he's wearing the same uniform, so you need to go out and protect.
I think it answered one of the questions too with the Schenn trade was who's going to be that guy to go fight for the team. There was that hole there. Even with Schenn, he can't do it every time, but he was that guy. And to see Tucker answer that question, and I think that's almost part of the reason why he did it too, is just to say, here it is. This is me. I will be getting the minutes now. Right.
Yep. And I mean, who else have we seen fight? Oh, we saw Holloway fight.
Yeah.
So I'm going to point something out here, and I just hope people will somehow go back and look at it, because I pointed it out to my wife as it happened, and we were cracking up. So I believe that is the Sharks game. So Holloway comes barreling behind the net. He smokes a guy, right? The other Sharks player comes up, and he's trying to whack at Holloway's ankles with the stick. His guy is down. He hits him directly in the face.
No.
Yeah.
Just a nice little slapper to the face.
Yeah. And I understand you're trying to protect your guy, but have some awareness. Because he just gets him right in the visor, and I don't know. As soon as I saw it, I see the little things like that. I don't know why I'm looking for those. I could have been looking at the fact that Holloway was literally just smiling at the guy, ready to fight. Holloway's not a fighter,
right?
But the one thing I saw was just his own teammate getting smoked, and it was hilarious.
That's hilarious. That's great. Yeah, somebody clip that.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'll do something. I'll show everybody.
Right.
Okay. So, those are the trades. That's kind of, we're missing two big guys.
Yep.
Schenner, of course, like we were saying, he was the guy that was going to try and drag you into the fight. And Falk, honestly, he was one of our best offensive players this year. So, we lose those, and in return, we now have basically the new core coming up. And you see Thomas, he's scoring. You see Snuggerud. My God.
They had such a good time last night on that bench together. They were just loving it. It was great to see.
Snuggerud, whenever he got the goal right in front of the net, and pretty much nobody knew that it went in but him. I don't know. Coolest moment for this guy probably.
Yeah.
Because it goes, I'm pretty sure, bar in, and then he just looks off.
Right, and he's just standing there. He's just doesn't even celebrate or anything. Just yeah. That was cold,
dude. But that's the kind of confidence we need right now. Mm-hmm. Same with Holloway stepping up to fight. The no look pass that led to that goal from Thomas. Why is it now that we're seeing this this chemistry and this confidence when the entire season that was not there?
Is it Thomas?
they just won 4 in a row. They couldn't get 3 in a row. You know
right?
what I mean? So like, yeah, what's happening here?
How plagued was Thomas by that with that injury, or the ill repair of the injury, whatever happened with the procedure or whatnot. Um, we're seeing Mister 2 point a game Thomas come up again, and is that was that injury really holding him back? We don't know, but he's definitely with as many games that he's missed. I'm pretty sure he's still leading the team in points right now. I'm fairly
Mhm.
certain about it. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, um, I don't know. I think that his return has helped out a lot.
I agree. Something. I mean, if we want to talk about like just the confidence. So obviously, Snuggerud is a part of that. Holloway is a part of that. But Buchnevich, like, now he hasn't scored like in bunches, but like what he has been pretty, like, I would say, skilled goals.
Yeah.
Um, so like, do you see him possibly like breaking out here in this post Olympic break? What a time to do it, but do you see it happening?
Well, let's look at his time on ice because I'm fairly certain he has the most on the Blues right now as well.
Mm,
So if you're on the ice and you're on there that often, you're going to have those touches and you're going to position himself like he does. And it's to me like old school hockey. He's right there in front of the goalie, just kind of
yep,
being distraction and playing that in that dirty area. So having good wax at it, but he makes some pretty good passes and he makes some pretty poor passes too. So it's one of those. Will he break out, or will we just see consistency from him? Because that would be better than I think a breakout. Because
yep,
with breakout come lulls, and that's
yep.
not really necessary at this time in our season.
Yeah, I would say a breakout without consistency is something the Blues are really good at, in being an overperformance. Because I mean, right now they're breaking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, with I mean, the Anaheim game. Like, Anaheim is not a bad team.
No.
Um, I mean, I'm pretty sure they were. I mean, I'm pretty sure that game knocked them just under Buffalo.
Okay.
If I'm correct about that. So like, they blanked them and they embarrassed them. Now I will say, like, the consistency is the thing. We we're not having those games where it is like you're getting blown out and then the next game you're like just dominating somebody. Like, they're
Yeah.
all pretty close games. I'm sitting here watching them not knowing what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not
Right.
a game where we're getting blown out and like you're just hoping that the game is over. Like, you're like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So like, that consistency, those tight games, like, it's not fluctuating crazy like one way or the other. That's what's going to keep these types of like streaks going. um and I just wonder, do you think we can get to 5? Can we get to 6 and 7? Like, what's the potential for this post Olympic break team?
Yeah, so looking at the remaining schedule, at least for the next couple days here, we have Shen making his return to St. Louis as Islanders are in town, and then Hurricanes and the Blue or Oilers. So it's kind of a difficult schedule looking forward and saying, are they going to break out and win 10 and 15 in a row? I wouldn't be mad if they did. Can't bet against them, I guess, but
Right.
yeah.
Well, so okay, who is, you said the Islanders. Do you think Shen coming back, do you think they make a like a real push, and I'm talking about the Islanders. Do you think they
Yeah.
make a real push to like show them what they took from them?
You have to. This is Kelly Chase and Tony Twist when they got in their fight, right? When Kelly
Mm,
Chase was traded, he said, I have to go out there and show that I'm loyal to this team now. So I had this discussion earlier. Is Shen going to show up and start beating up the young guys like his brother did in the Winnipeg series, like going after Kyrou or whoever?
Man, you know what? That is a good question. Here's what I want to know. So, Shen and Neighbors are like very close.
Yeah.
Um, Neighbors, you can see it. Like he's got that Shen attitude. He goes out and he like will stand up for his teammates.
Hmm.
Do you think we see the literal copy of Chaser, Twister, where we get Shenner and Neighbors?
I feel like Shen would feel like he's beating up his little brother at that
I
point,
know.
but now I guess it depends on the ebb and flow of the game, right? If Blues get down a couple points, there's going to be a fight. If Islanders get down a couple points, there's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
It's just where they got to stir that momentum up. Um, I feel like he has to show that he's playing for the Islanders now and not the St. Louis Blues. You know,
This is going to be a tough one to watch.
hmm
I
there
think.
won't be a dry eye in the building when they play his video,
No.
guaranteed. Yeah.
I guess at this point we can kind of start to speculate. Who do we think is going to be the next captain? Now, I don't think that this is something that's going to happen immediately. And at the most, I think they let like the whole next season go by without possibly naming one. That's at the most. What I think will happen is in the off season they'll pick somebody. But who do you think it would be? We'll start there, and then I'll go with my bull.
There's obviously a whole host of contenders on the team who could step into those boots as far as the captain role goes. There's been names tossing around from Thomas to, even Jake Neighbors to. I personally think that Bucci may have something to say about it. Just the past couple games that I've went to, we sit pretty close behind the bench, and watching the communication on the ice and off the ice, it's Buchnevich, and he's commanding that team. I felt at least those plays and his line. He's at least discussing that stuff, and I don't know. Do you want the role of big brother that you got with Shen, or do you want the role of leadership who's going to take hold of a struggling team and say, we need to do more of this, and then go out on the ice and prove it? Because that's the captain, right?
Right.
But also willing to fight, because that's the Blues captain kind of thing. You got to be able to do that too.
And if you ask me, to support your point, one of the first things Bucci did when he got on this team was headbutt a guy. So I mean, if we're talking about like somebody who's willing to fight,
Yeah.
yeah, Bucci definitely fits that mold. Now Chris Kerber said it a lot on the broadcast of the last game. He kept saying, "This is now Robert Thomas' team."
Yeah.
Now, maybe he's not talking, captaincy or anything like that, but he does seem to be the front runner, if that makes sense. Now, if you ask me, I would say Neighbors, but if they pick Neighbors over Thomas, and we're not even thinking about Pareko over here yet.
Right.
If they pick Neighbors over Thomas, do you think we get a similar situation to where Tarasenko was passed up for Pietrangelo?
I mean, I think the qualities of a captain. So you had Petrangelo, Ryan O'Reilly, Braden Shen. Now nobody, right? The qualities between all three of those guys, they're the same build, the same type of player. I don't know with Thomas. I've heard he's very quiet in the locker
In the
room and
locker
doesn't.
room.
Yeah. Um, and what was the actual question again?
If they pass up
Oh yeah,
Thomas for Neighbors.
I could see that happening a little bit. Then you got guys like Fowler and stuff that are his dad's age almost. And
Right.
they're like, oh, I got to listen to this 23, 24-year-old kid, blah, blah, blah. But I think Jake does exude captain, maybe future captain, maybe the Blues, maybe somebody else, whoever gets him in the long run.
Right.
I just don't know if it's immediate. Like my heart wants to say Neighbors because I love the guy. He's like a true Blue, that's him. But again, I don't know. Maybe Robert, the way he's interacting with Snuggie, that
Yeah.
showed a little more of their personality. And who knows? Maybe he didn't like Shen, and now that Shen's gone, people are loosening up. We don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
I was gonna say, I don't ever want to say there's a cancer in the locker room,
right?
because people throw that around a lot. But I do wonder if, now that those two guys are gone, two guys that were pretty vocal,
Mhm.
you know, does Thomas now have more room to speak up? And
Yeah.
not even just Thomas, we can go with Pareko, we can go with Neighbors.
hmm No, that's an excellent point too, and he definitely probably has that more room to breathe and to speak and everything. Plus, you got new guys coming in the locker room too, so you're going to see all the personalities kind of come out a little more, I think. And that you can go back to that fight, and if we do see Shen step on the ice and just make a beeline for somebody, or vice versa, we know there was bad blood in that locker
Right.
room. Yeah,
Because now they got a reason.
yeah, exactly. So now
That
they
would
can
be
fight.
absolutely wild.
Speaking of like teammates fighting, the Edmonton Oilers' newest goalie, apparently he got into it with a couple of the Edmonton Oilers players on and practice today. And there's been multiple sources saying that it happened. Now he hasn't
Who,
been the greatest. That
who's their
Jari,
newest goalie?
Jari, I had it pulled up here. Jari. Tristan Jari. He's the guy that they got from
Oh,
the Penguins for uh, Skinner. So
that's
that was,
crazy.
yeah. And apparently they were getting into it in practice today. Now, no names were mentioned aside from the goalie, so you don't know who was chirping who.
Right.
But yeah,
But I do want to know
I
because,
know.
we all know what happened, the last time we saw two teammates fight, and that was Bortuzzo and Sanford, and it ended up in a cup. So, you know, did the Oilers find it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they got him, is so
Right.
they can come in and rough some people up. Um, Time will only tell. So at this point, we can go ahead and wrap this up. I just want to say thank you to Dogtown Pizza for sponsoring us. Thank you to I-70 Sports Media for putting us on, helping us out. Love you guys. Let's go Blues.
That's good.
Dogtown Pizza. If you haven't had a Dogtown Pizza, you are absolutely missing out. There is nothing better than coming home from work or school or wherever you're stuck at for the day, throwing a Dogtown Pizza into the oven for pretty much no time at all, and enjoying that St. Louis style greatness. With selections like a classic pepperoni, the 4 meat, the deluxe, and the veggie, there's a perfect pizza for everyone. The best part is knowing you're supporting a local St. Louis business and family. Dogtown Pizza has partnered with our beloved Blues, but also with other prominent St. Louis figures like Steve's Hot Dogs. And it's run by the Shaper family, St. Louisans through and through with a decade in the business. My family and I had 2 of these bad boys today in preparation for this, and they turned out incredible. Just look at that cheese. Bottom line, if you're looking for a pizza you'll love, from a local company you can trust, run by a family you can relate to, go to dogtownpizza.com, find a store near you, and go get one. Thanks again to Dogtown Pizza for sponsoring this podcast. Let's go get a pizza, and let's go Blues. The STL Hockey Fan Podcast is presented by Interstate 70 Sports Media Group. I-70 strives to give you the best sports coverage in the tri-state area. Find them on Facebook or at interstate70sports.media.